This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Player movement, push the pace. But right now they've shown they can't stop a whole lot down this end, and not many can stop that guy anyway.
Oh. And then swatted away, Terry Taylor.
Big boy too, he's fouled and he scores.
There is his second steal, and he shows he's still got some hops.
Great pass.
And that is great chemistry from Brown to Cheatham.
Full court pressure. Lucas lets it fly.
Oh boy. And there's the move from Bryce. How many times have we seen that? It's going to be Holtz. What sort of...
A Sunday Hoops doubleheader rolls on to Brisbane as they welcome in the best team in the competition, the Adelaide 36ers. The Bullets and the Sixers going head-to-head at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. Joel Peterson alongside a pair of former Bullets in Derek Rucker and Aaron Baines. Ruck, this is a big old challenge for these undermanned Bullets.
It certainly is, and they need to come out and play with desperation. Adelaide certainly understand there's a big opportunity here to build that first-place buffer.
And Adelaide, of course, coming in red-hot form. They've won 4 in a row. They've won 11 of their past 12. They are a force to be reckoned with as Terry Taylor goes to the rack. And one of the big questions in this one, Bainesy, is with no Javon Freeman-Liberty and no Tyrell Harrison, to whom do the Bullets turn to get some points on the board?
Yeah, well, me personally, I'm looking at Dukas, see what he can come out and do, and I want him to deliver tonight. So, you know, he's had some games where he showed some spurts, but can he put together a full 40 minutes?
Both teams are on the board on their opening possessions. Sam McDaniel into that starting lineup, and Jacob Holt gets the first start of his NBL career for the Brisbane Bullets. Unchanged lineup for Adelaide. Right on cue, Bainesy.
There we go. I love to see that. The first shot, I know he loves to see it, and the whole team is excited for that one. Hopefully it makes the rim a little bit bigger for everyone on this team.
Reasonable form. Alex Dukas, almost a turnover there.
Early on, Sam McDaniel gets a matchup against Bryce Cotton.
Holt gets a piece of Cotton. Encouraging start from the big man.
Look, that's what they need. It's not Sam versus Bryce. It's the whole team versus Bryce, and they've got to see it.
Dukas curling off again. That one's offline. Flynn Cameron coming off his career best performance. 25 points last time out. How about had Leonard Copeland giggling in the post-game interview?
Man, it was a hell of a game by him.
And he's continuing to, he picks up where he left off.
Well, he's a true three-level scorer, Baines. You see right there, he's got nice savvy as he attacks the bucket as well. And right now, he's just playing with such confidence.
Look, for them to make that deep run into playoffs and keep that form going, he's a huge key for them.
Can't hit from outside. Troy Brown Jr. pulls down the rebound. He'd love a big game this afternoon to get his confidence going. Only had one double-figure scoring game so far this season. Cameron from the corner got it.
Well, that's twice they've gone to pick and roll with Cotton and Humphreys. The first time Humphreys scored on a reverse layup, and there Humphreys creates the assist, corner 3-ball for Cameron.
Daniel stepping through. That's a nice move from the Adelaide-born Bullet.
And the teams that have done a good job defensively against Adelaide have been able to nullify that pick and roll action that they like to utilize as Cotton uses Cameron again.
Humphreys down low. 28 tomorrow, the big fella, as he turns around to his right hand, playing some of the best ball of his career. Jacob Holt will have his work cut out trying to slow him down this afternoon. 7 apiece early in this one. The Bullets looking for some early energy in this game to try and get a foothold. We talk often about what was on the coach's whiteboard, D-Ruck. Mike Wells kindly enough showed you his whiteboard. What did he have to say?
He certainly did. And pre-game, as he was coming out of the change room and walked past our commentary position, he showed me explicitly what his whiteboard said, and it was standards and habits. And I love that, Baines, because you come in here, it's easy to just think you're going to walk over Brisbane, but you got to meet your standards, and you got to play with the habits that have brought you success thus far in the season.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. You know, they're the #1 team for a reason. They've been able to separate themselves from the pack, and it's from what they've done night in and night out, not underestimating any single team. And yeah, that's what Mike wants from them tonight, is to, regardless of the level, we're not playing against the Bullets, we're playing to play against that next team in the playoffs.
Said it after his post-game press conference that every game is important as one another. They all count for one win as McDaniel dives on that loose ball. And then walked as he tried to regather his position. Mitch Norton said after that performance the other night, well, you want players diving on loose balls. Unfortunately, he just happened to dive headfirst into Tyrell Harrison. The big man not out there this afternoon, so hopefully a speedy recovery for big Tyrell.
Yeah, definitely an unfortunate one. You know, Mitch is the kind of guy who's never going to back out, so you love to see that. But I guess on Brisbane's playboard, what does D-Mac have? For me, it's can they keep up the energy for 40 minutes? He said it in the last post-game conference that they're not basketball fit, so you see the early sub come in for Holt, and can they keep up this energy that they've started with?
Well, they've started in really encouraging fashion. Dukas is going to get a look from outside. Almost lost it. Reinforcements coming in for Adelaide as well. McDaniel now probing his way through the defence. Dukas pulls up from deep. That one's offline. Cheatham the rebound. It's been a fast start here in Brisbane. Let's welcome in the final member of our team and say a very good afternoon to Ariana Prather.
Hey guys, I'm happy to be here. And you talk about standards and habits. I talked to Zylan Cheatham before the game, and he said that we are the hunters. We don't get hunted. When I asked how they've been so successful so far this season and how they carry the momentum into each game, I just love that quote by him because that's what you want to see from your players. We are the hunters. We don't get hunted. So I expect them to be aggressive and not take it easy on Brisbane and walk in here and just think they're going to win.
He's the real tone setter, and Mike Wells wants an early timeout. Brisbane have come out of the gate strong, and they lead 11-7 halfway through this opening term at the Tangerine timeout.
Well, it's tough right away. You see Adelaide not playing with the necessary energy to match Brisbane. And Bainesy, you know, they played an emotional game Friday night down in Adelaide and knocking off the Sydney Kings. They travel up on Saturday. Not much prep time.
And of course, they're undermanned as well, this Brisbane Bullets team. They've come out of the gates here, but the injury picture, you can see Casey Prather on the crutches there. This is quite remarkable. So Hunter Maldonado is the 19th player that they will have used so far this season. They have had 14 players start a game this year, the Bullets.
Yeah, you know, it's a long list. It's hard to get any rhythm, but that's why Hunter's up here, is to try and get D-Mac's rhythm out there on the court for the guys. You know, Nordo's been shorting a lot on the defensive end and then trying to run the team. So to be able to get a second coach out there on the floor, that's what they're looking for in Hunter, and we're going to get a first glimpse to be able to see him tonight. And I think all eyes are on, can he control this team and can he relay exactly how D-Mac wants the game to be played?
And hopefully for the Bullets, just lighten the load on Mitch Norton and just mean he has to do less.
Yeah, well, physically, he has to, you know, bring the ball up. He's the primary pressure guy on the defensive end, and you see he's had to log too many minutes over the course of the past few seasons with the Bulls because of the instability at the point guard position. So now Maldonado gets a crack to show what he can do. More bandwidth in terms of usage available here at Brisbane than what he saw at Southeast Melbourne.
Yeah, hopefully it's looking to play the style of basketball that sits with him a little bit better. You know, he's an image of what D-Mac was as a point guard. He's a big guy, he can control the floor, and in terms of, I just don't think his style matched up with Southeast and the way they fly around. So let's see what he can do here for the Bullets.
Started his last 5 games for Southeast Melbourne, played 16 for the team in green across the start of the season. Bullets off to a good start here, 11-7. Maldonado trying to work past Rakocevic, tossed it straight to Cotton.
Again, the turnovers, they hurt Brisbane last game, you know, it's those ones that D-Mac really doesn't appreciate. So, yeah, looking to keep the ball and not fuel Adelaide's transition, because once they get out and going, they're tough.
Rakocevic, just an offensive rebounding machine.
It is Brisbane turning it over. 15% of their possessions this year, just under 15 a game. The worst rate in the competition as Cotton gets inside. That one's waved away.
Wow, that was close. But Rakocevic has got 2 offensive rebounds in just a minute of play.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's been doing, right? I mean, what was it, 4 games ago is when he really switched his level up. He had a big game, and it's just given him a lot of confidence, which he's still flowing from it.
A little bit quieter last time out Adelaide, but he has put together a nice little stretch. They'd like to see Troy Brown Jr. do much the same. Cotton swatted by McDaniel. Not many do that to Bryce.
No, and that's what Smack's there for, you know. offensive end as a bonus, but again, Brisbane with those turnovers, which just cost them so many opportunities.
Cotton 0 of 3 to start. Kenyon was fouled on the rebound.
Sam Gagnon, one of the best on-ball defenders in the league, and sensational timing, maintains his balance and elevates and throws that one out of there.
It is great to see Sam McDaniel back and healthy, isn't it? He's a physical specimen, and when he is back out there doing his thing, it's so good to watch. Cotton takes a seat.
Yeah, and what has been great about Sam over the last few games is he shoulders more of the offensive load as well. You know, he can do that. We've seen him do it in NBL 1, and for him to come out here with that same confidence that, hey, we need someone to put points on the board.
And Cameron getting to the cup and doing just that for the Adelaide side of things. So he will go to the free throw line. A couple of former Bullets out there in Isaac White and Matt Kenyon. Brisbane's actually had a very good record here against Adelaide. They've won 7 in a row here in this venue. Adelaide's last win here was the 13th of February of 2021. Nathan Sobey was playing for Brisbane. So too Jason Kadee, Anthony Grimmick, and Blake Jones, who is now on Adelaide's bench as a DP. On the Adelaide side of things, you've got Jack McVeigh, Josh Giddy were both on that team, and Keanu Pinder last time they played. Isaac Humphries had 24 and 14 last time they won here in Brisbane. So a little while between drinks in the River City for the 36ers.
I'm sure Isaac wouldn't mind another night like that. But yeah, hopefully the Bullets can try and quieten down the Cotton and Humphries, I guess, tandem game that they've been getting going this year.
Strong finish from Taylor inside.
Early on, the Bullets playing with good juice, Bainesy. Defensively, they're energized. They've done a good job on Cotton early, and offensively, they're playing with much better organization and purpose.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need to do. It's like I touched on earlier, it's the whole team against Bryce, and on the defensive end, they've still got to find Vasiljevic, because in his own right, he's a hell of an offensive juggernaut when he gets going.
Well, especially after hitting the dagger of daggers the other night against Sydney. He's riding high with confidence. Maldonado, nice move, no good.
Called.
Friendly call by the referee there.
Very friendly.
Elliot Green making the call there with Ruben Wilcock and Ken Widgeon, our refereeing crew this afternoon. Jack Purchase getting some early minutes here for the Bullets. Mel Peterson, Aaron Baines, Derek Rucker and Ariana Praver here with you. Second leg of a Sunday doubleheader in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Perth getting a win over New Zealand, so the Breakers slipping down to 8th on the table behind the Hawks, who won yesterday to keep their postseason chase alive. Kenyon lost the handle underneath. The Bullets will take it back the other way, up by 2. We know that Jack Purchase can hit from range. Maldonado works off the screen from Holt into the long 2. Holt pulls it down. Nice work from the big fella. And he will go to the free throw line. Little Jacob Holt.
Yeah, that's great energy there by Holt on the boards. You know, Maldonado came off. I'm not sure if D-Mac wants the long 2, but the good thing as a big is there's a mismatch there for Holt on the offensive board. So I personally don't mind that shot in that situation.
And the other thing is, now with Norton off the court, this is where Brisbane has gotten themselves in trouble over the past few rounds, where they haven't had anyone else to run the show. Now with Maldonado out there, it just gives them a little bit more stability and organization. You see, just keep the ball moving, just keep executing on the offense and try and get quality shots every possession.
I need some good work on the offensive glass. They're the 9th best offensive rebounding team, Brisbane, and that was with Tyrell Harrison, who is the #1 offensive rebounder in the competition. So without him, the likes of Jacob Holt are going to have to get busy this afternoon. 3 ball from Vasiljevic is offline. Tristan Divas chases down the rebound. Maldonado's off and flying back the other way for the Bullets. Up by 3, 2 to go in this opening term. Brisbane have lost 3 in a row. Adelaide won 4 in a row. They're 7-2 on the road this season. Brisbane are 2 of 9 here, 2 and 9 here in this venue. Kosovic spinning back to the middle. Left that one short. Dukas will corral the miss. So an encouraging start from the Bullets. Vasiljevic locks up Holt.
It was a great pass by Maldonado there. He saw the defense jump out as he came across the split line. And Holt made himself a big target, but just a little bit more recognition of the backside there, because Vasiljevic is going to come over and try and make a play, but he's not going to stay in there long term, and he's not going to be able to battle with Holt, so just slow down.
He made himself small by positioning the ball at his abdomen. It should have been a power dribble and elevate up.
Brisbane have not been good starters this season. They have led quarter time just 4 times. Adelaide, on the other hand, haven't scored any fewer than 17 points in an opening term as DJ adds 2 more, driving to the hoop with a tough finish.
Underrated penetrator. Very good off of his left hand.
Minute to go in the opening term.
He's also coming off with a lot of space. You know, it's 2 guys here. You have the perfect opportunity, in my mind, to work on your dribble handoffs and your ball screens in terms of the big getting up, getting active, getting the ball out of that guy's hands coming off, and getting someone else to have to make that play, because Cotton and Vasiljevic, they both do wonders when they have space.
Adelaide weren't happy with the call, but Mike Wells walked over to the video assistant and didn't like the review opportunity. 17-15, download the new NBL app. Live scores, you can check in across the world of basketball. You can head to the WNBL side of things. Rupp, just toggle at the top of the screen and go and watch Nadia Poch's half-court game winner for the Capitals today.
Incredible shot. Unbelievable. Off the wrong foot and everything.
You can do that all in the NBL app. Stay close to the action this season. Download it now as Rakocevic creates the second chance opportunity but can't hit. Maldonado pushing the ball in transition, spinning and passing outside to Taylor. Now Holt for 3. That's around and out.
Taylor's got to take that shot. Set up perfectly by Maldonado.
It was a great drive. He drew all the defense in, and like you said, why turn down that open shot? It's not going to get much more open than that.
Colton 0 of 4 to start. Hasn't scored as yet, which is a rarity for the great one. Taylor on the drive. Left-hand finish is tough.
It's unorthodox, that left-hand shot, but he gets it to fall often.
Game-high 5-point lead here for Brisbane. 8 seconds remaining in this opening term. The best team in the league coming into their house. And the Bullets are off to a really encouraging start. Rakocevic didn't get it off. And for just the 5th time all season, the Bullets will lead at quarter time. And they are taking it up to the top of the table, 36ers, at the end of one. Quarter time in the River City. It's the Bullets 20 to the 36ers 15.
Brisbane Entertainment Center, where the Brisbane Bullets have the lead over the top-ranked Adelaide 36ers after quarter one. I was listening into that last 36ers timeout, and DJ Vasiljevic spoke about his frustrations to his teammates. He wants more communication on the defensive end. Head coach Mike Wells stepped in and said, we have to play more physical, and we must win this quarter. I believe you said that was part of his whiteboard, Derek, was to be physical against this Bullets team.
Jacob Holt starts things off very nicely for the Bullets in the second term. Thanks, Ariana.
And Bainesy, we've been in many games like this where everybody says this should be very one-sided. But you know what? In every game, at some point, you get tested. And you must step up and deliver. Right now, Adelaide, who look lethargic and tired at the moment, they're in for it. They've got to find a way now to tighten up on the defensive end and execute better and look after the basketball offensively.
Exactly. That's where they need someone to bring that energy. You're saying they might look a little bit flat right now, and that's where I look to a guy like Cheatham. He's that guy who can bring in big play, a big energy-giving thing that's going to work for the whole team.
Everybody's pros out here, and everybody can play.
Cheatham, Cotton, and Humphreys have combined for 2 points in the early going. Here is Zylan putting it on the floor. Floater won't go. Foul on the play. Foul on the play. It was a late-ish whistle. And Zylan Cheatham will step to the stripe for a pair.
I mean, good to see him go to the rim. He's capable of some highlight plays, and I know all of Adelaide are waiting for one of those to come about.
You see his numbers last time out against the Brisbane Bullets, 26 and 4. Number one rebounder in the league this season. 3 times he's gone above 20 points in a game. 9 times he's had double-figure rebounds. Rattles that one in. 6-point Brisbane Bullets lead. Be excused for not having that on your bingo card early in this one, as they welcome in the top of the table Adelaide 36ers, but they're playing with some real fight at the moment as Hunter Maldonado puts his shoulder down and gets a call.
And what I like to see from him there is he's already getting into the pick and roll, multiple opportunities here with Holt, and they're starting to develop something within their first few plays together, which you love to see that, and you hope that they can continue working on that over these next few games and really build a connection there, because you see they're playing the team with the best in Bryce and Humphreys right now.
And the other thing is, Maldonado gives you excellent size at the point guard position, and in turn, that gives you lineup versatility. Now, right now, they've kept Norton on the court with him, but they have to guard him with a taller player. Right now, I think Brisbane has a little bit of a size advantage out on the floor.
But this is where Mitch made his money in the NBL, right? He's a defensive-minded guy, and this is a perfect matchup for him. They played together for a long time. He knows his game inside out, and there's no one better that is going to come out here and give Bryce a tough time.
Colton scoreless in the opening quarter for just the 3rd time this season. Maldonado whipped it inside off the hands of Taylor, out of play.
Which the scoreless, it's a credit to what Sammy Mack is able to do, and then being able to have the benefit of putting a guy like Nordo on there as well. That's what you need.
It's so hard to keep a great scorer down because you've got to get off to a good start against him, but yet you must be able to sustain that, especially against Bryce, because he can rip you for 17 and a quarter.
Sometimes it doesn't even take that long. It doesn't need the full 10 minutes. As Rakocevic misses that one, Dukas with the rebound. He's going to push it ahead to Maldonado. Each of those two spent some time with the Oklahoma City franchise in the NBA. That was well and truly strong off the hands of Alex Dukas. Interesting to hear Mike Wells say after their last game, Adelaide, that sometimes they come so ready to play that they get really sped up early in games and they settle into the second half like they did against Sydney. Fair to say that wasn't a problem early in this one. Not take quite the same level of intensity into the start here. Another turnover from the Bullets there. That's 4 in the early going.
And the past 2 turnovers, Joel, were just a product of lack of familiarity as players. Both of them were the right intent and the right idea, but just more time required together as a unit or between the 2 individuals.
Equal game high 8-point lead for the Bullets. Humphries underneath, gets that one to go.
There's that Bryce Humphries connection. You know, it's a tough one to guard, but they've got to find a way. And to me, it's Terry Taylor needs to be up a bit more and active in getting the ball out of Bryce's hands when he comes off the screen from Cheatham.
Taylor putting the moves on, gets the reverse, Holt on the follow.
And Bainsy, we've spoken about it pre-game. Holt very well is establishing himself as a true NBL role player and also perhaps the shining light of the Bullet season.
Yeah, definitely. You know, he's being able to come out, and every time he's on the floor, he plays with energy. You see him, even just those little deflections, making Bryce uncomfortable, making Bryce have to think. That's what Holt's been able to do more often than not, is make the teams think, what is he going to do, and add to it.
Cotton fouled by Norton. It's Jacob Holt on the Omi replay.
Does a good job of not giving up, and Holt beats Cheatham. Humphries obviously has to go help, and just like a smart big man, Bainsy, run to the front of the rim. That's where your presence are.
That's exactly it. You know, Humphries is out there. He's a bit of a shot blocker. He wants to go and chase down those easy help side plays, and it just leaves the rest of your team having to deal with the menace like Holt coming down the lane.
See, the categories Bryce Cotton leads the league in so far this season, chasing MVP number 6. He's a runaway favourite.
Some dude said the race is over.
Do you know him?
Most days. I think it was my twin, Eric.
Yes. Eric Tucker. Bryce wasn't missing 2 in a row there. Eric Tucker's alter ego, Derek Rucker, with you this afternoon in commentary alongside Aaron Baines. Ariana Prey, the sideline here at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre, as Isaac Humphries sends that one straight back over the head of Holt. Big fella said, don't bring that stuff in here.
And that's where there's been a few struggles for the Bullets. Once Maldonado goes out, who's going to run the team, who's going to lead them? And that's where Terry Taylor came down the court with the ball in his hand and went one-on-one straight away.
Yeah, they've been having such success moving the ball, and then, you know, it's a nice in and out move, but realistically, that is going to be there the next time you get the basketball in your hands.
Don't want to go down and try and draw the eye of Humphries. He's going to go over and get those shot blocks.
6-point lead to Brisbane. 6.5 remaining in this one. Taylor being denied on that last play down, and he doesn't see the ball this time. Cheatham with the takeaway. This is a dangerous spot for Brisbane. And Holt fouls him. When that man gets a runway and the ball, it is a scary proposition.
It still gave the bench on Adelaide a lot of energy as well. You know, that's the anticipation that they're ready for. That's what they're doing. Holt, on the other end, made a good play in terms of staying vertical, except his hand came down at the end there, which it gives the referees an opportunity. So, you know, don't give him that chance, young fella.
(27-21). Just over 6 minutes remaining here in this second term. Brisbane have come out and they've found the requisite motivation against these Adelaide 36ers who come in top of the table. Their captain, Mitch Norton, leading the line as always. He caught up with Ariana Prey, the pre-game.
New people suited up, but new people are also out with injury. What adjustments do you guys have to make tonight with the recent injuries?
Yeah, obviously, you know, big loss, Tyrell and Javon, 2 guys that can put points on the board for us, so we're going to have to do it collectively, move the ball, attack certain matchups that we like, and overall just be aggressive.
As the captain of the team, how do you keep your team motivated without looking at the ladder, without looking at the score, without looking at the pass? How do you just keep them motivated to go out there and give it their all every night?
We're playing, you know, the best team in the league right now. So if that doesn't get you motivated, you're probably in the wrong industry.
Love that from Mitch Norton, right between the eyes.
Well, you got a chance to upset the best team with the best player. And that's motivation, as he said, and you get to do it with a big audience watching.
Yeah, there's nothing better for them. You know, it's their season. Is it alive? Is it not? If they come out and get a statement win, it's definitely alive, right? They're going to also mess up Adelaide's dreams of what they want to come out here, and, you know, they're chasing their 19th win. They're chasing to show everyone that they are the best team in the league, but the Bullets want to show them that they're able to go out there and take a scalp.
Zylan Cheatham misses the first free throw. Cashes in the second. 5-point game. We heard what Mitch Norton had to say to Ariana Prey, the pre-game. AP, what did the Bullets have to say at that huddle?
There are two big things that Coach D-Mac wanted to tell his team. One is to keep pushing the ball as Mitch Norton goes down. That didn't look too good, but just keep pushing the ball and defensively stop getting hit by ball screens, guys.
Just lost his feet from under him. Thanks, Ariana.
Adelaide coach Mike Wells asking for a travel. Like, where's the call? And we've seen some interesting ones with respect to injuries. We saw the game stop last night because of a cramp.
Yeah, we saw that. That was a bit of a different play, but I'd like to see that from the referees.
Really?
Because you want to see the best players competing, especially at that point of the game. So yes, it opens up a can of worms in some regards, but he's the best player on the team. It's not like he's a guy coming in from a bench that's trying to get a bit of an advantage somewhere. Yep. They're not playing as well without Walker on the floor, but they're at least able to have 5 full bodies out there. So it's situational. I commended the refs on that one.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll be sure to hit you up next time you complain about an injury.
It comes down to the situation in which these things occur, as well as we spoke about last week when we were here. That one's a foul.
15, blue, push.
I don't so much like the late calls, though. Those ones kind of throw me off a fair bit.
Brisbane and Adelaide will do battle. Obviously today they meet on the Gold Coast in a couple of weeks' time as part of the Ignite Cup, the final of the Gold Coast at the Gold Coast Convention and Exhibition Centre on Feb 22. Still plenty of teams in the race to make it there. Adelaide are one of those. Ignite Cup action heads to Bendigo on Wednesday as well. Scan the QR code on screen. Head to nbl.com.au/Ignite Cup for all the updates, the standings and game details as we build up to what's going to be a history-making final on Feb 22 on the Gold Coast.
Well, one of the areas Adelaide's really improved is their ability to generate stops, and right now they're going through a good phase defensively that's got them back into this game and kind of changed the momentum slightly in their favor.
Davis to Taylor, sizing up Cheatham, stepping back, can't hit. Holt's in there on the offensive glass again, had it slip through his grasp. Cotton thought about the pass ahead to Cheatham. Both teams not shooting it as they'd like from outside. Clint Cameron wants to change that, and does.
Bainsy, Adelaide getting anything they want out of the pick and roll right now. I'd be giving Brisbane a constant diet of it.
Yeah, for sure. It's a tough one though, right? Pick your poison. The way Flynn's been able to step in and play.
That's not the poison I'm picking.
No, definitely not. You got to try and find another rotation there, which is what it's about. Is can they get a few rotations out of the pick and roll? But it's tough when Bryce is splitting the defense there from Holt.
Kosovic thought long and hard about it and missed. He's 1 of 19 from 3 on the season. After that miss, Adelaide have scored the last 7 in the game. Brisbane by 1. Taylor puts it on the floor. The lefty works his way across the lane and scoops it home.
And he apologizes to Jack Purchase for not kicking that ball to him earlier, as Isaac White right back at him. That's just unacceptable. Get a nice bucket from Taylor, and then they're right back at you with a layup.
Isaac White playing his first season in Adelaide after spending the last couple with the Bullets. Norton pushes that one up. He can't get it to fall. 1-point game, under 4 minutes remaining in this second term. Divas almost poked it away from White. Cotton back on top. Just a couple of free throws to fall so far for Bryce. Cheatham to White in the corner.
You know White feels good about that one, coming back to Brisbane and letting him know that, hey, I was here and you fumbled me, but I'm not going to fumble this opportunity to come into the house and show you what you missed out on.
First game back here for Isaac White.
We know he can shoot the ball. It hasn't been consistently reflected in his numbers, but I think now this season with Adelaide, he's hitting most of the big shots that he's taking.
Indeed he is. Take a look at the Amy replay of it here for Isaac White. Shooting just under 30% on the season, but he is a streaky shooter. We know that he can absolutely fill it up. He gave Adelaide the business when he went there last year and scored 22 in his home venue, so to speak, and they thought, oh, we like the look of that, we'll snap him up.
Yeah, and he's he benefited from the pick and roll game there, and I would suspect in this timeout, Daryl McDonald is looking at pick and roll coverages. They have to change it up because right now, the points per possession off of on-ball screens must be really high.
Yeah, they've got to give Bryce a different look. They've got to clean up the trap. Bryce is finding his way through the middle of the trap, splitting that, and then it becomes a 4-on-3 on the backside. It's a matchup you're not going to win against Adelaide with the amount of shooters they have. Adelaide
18-4, chasing a 19th win on the season. The last time, Ruck, that they had 19 wins in a season, you go back to 2005, 2006. So they played 32 games that year. Chris Ansky was the MVP of the league.
Yep.
You were playing here with Leonard Copeland.
Correct.
Aaron Baines' brother was playing here in Brisbane the year before they won the chip.
Yep, great guy.
Damon Lowry was playing for Townsville. D-Mac won a championship with Chris Ansty at the Melbourne Tigers, and Ariana, a player that was dominating junior basketball in Boulder, Colorado. So we've all come a long way, some of us more than others.
Wow.
Tied up at 31.
And Joel, I imagine you were probably in the debate club somewhere. No?
That would have implied that I had some skill to offer to that particular club, Ruck, as Vukocevic is fouled on that play.
I don't think Derek cares too much about 06. He's more of the 07 mentality, right?
Well, that was yeah, only because I wish that I was there in 07, but that was one of the great seasons in Brisbane Bullets history, one of the great teams of all time, and one of the best individual seasons from Sam McKinnon. Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, Grand Final MVP.
Yeah, it was a hell of a team to watch. You know, for me personally, I was watching Bradley and what he was still able to do running around there at that point in his career. And yeah, just phenomenal to see. And now we've got Jensen on the team as well. So, you know, it's crazy, those little connections throughout.
That banner from the 2007 championship still hanging in the rafters here, of course, at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. Nice crossover from Maldonado. And then he threw it away. Isaac White tried to chase it down. Hunter got it back. Offload to Divas, who finishes inside.
He's an excellent passer.
That was a great pass. You know, it was no better way to cover up your mistakes than to get it back and find an easy layup for a teammate.
Brisbane back on top with 2.5 to go. They are making a real fist of this game, but as we know, they did that against Perth back on Thursday and then got obliterated in the second half. Clint Cameron can't hit that one.
It was after the release. I'm looking at it.
Smith-Milner, a former 36er. Foul on Divas, so it's going to be 2 shots with Adelaide in the bonus.
And I said Adelaide were looking for an energy player, and that's what Kenyon is, right? Through and through, he's a guy who's going to come in here and do every single little thing he can just to try and give you an extra possession, and it paid off for them there.
Brisbane by 1. Second free throw for Matt Kenyon. He drops that one in. The crowd have got excited about the potential of cheeseburgers a couple of times in this game so far. Haven't been duly rewarded. Joel Peterson, Derek Rucker, Aaron Baines and Ariana Prather with you at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. You see there the way that the Bullets have had control of the scoreboard in the early part here. Divas from the corner. That's a big hit.
And another great fight by Maldonado. Came down, he saw the defense pulled all the way in and found Divas there for the open shot, which that's a good sign for the Bullets to have a few guys that have been struggling a little bit of late to knock down those open ones.
6 points, 4 assists for Hunter Maldonado. Troy Brown Jr. puts it on the floor, fumbles it away. Kenyon recovers it. 4 on the shot clock here for Cotton, getting into the lane. Can't float it home, just 2 points for Bryce in this one.
That's a credit to the defense and what they're able to do, but also that's a credit to Bryce because he's finding wide open teammates as well.
0 of 5 from the field is Bryce Cotton. Maldonado for Dukas. Brown Jr. comes in for the rebound. Foul is on Smith-Milner for the contact, and Troy Brown Jr. will walk to the other end to shoot 2.
I think in terms of game plan, Brisbane has a very sound one in place. And Daryl McDonald's done a good job with getting his guys in and out of the game to ensure that the defensive intensity and execution is really good. To hold this Adelaide team to 33 points this late in the second quarter is outstanding. And Adelaide are the best shooting team in the league, and they're only at 33% thus far.
Yeah, exactly. That's, you know, they're going out there and executing the game plan, whereas Adelaide, I'm not sure that Mike's too happy with what they're doing in terms of execution on the defensive end.
Couple will fall for Troy Brown. So Bryce Cotton 0 of 5, 2 points early in this one. It was Sydney in round 4 that held him to 2 points at half-time. He ended that game with 7 points on 3 of 10 shooting as the Kings drubbed the 36ers by 24 points. So it's been an inauspicious start for the champion. And that one was called out of play. Callum Dalton couldn't keep it alive.
And that's the area where Maldonado has struggled this season. He hasn't shot the ball well from deep. Question marks over, you know, his ability to be accurate over the course of a season.
13 of 51 from outside ruck.
But again, we've seen what he can do on the offensive end as well. He's really facilitated well for Brisbane, and yeah, that's one of those things where his skill set didn't match up with what Southeast want, but hopefully it does with Brisbane.
Well, you can see on the offensive end, Brisbane looked a lot calmer. Now, I'm not saying that they're tearing it up on the offensive end. They're 2 of 12 from deep. But the fact is, they just look settled and like they know what they want to do on that end of the floor.
Well, the Sixers sure as hell aren't tearing it up on that end of the floor. They're 10 of 30 from the field. And Hunter Maldonado probably played his best game for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. In his last game, had 18, 5 and 2 in that last outing, and clearly wasn't the right fit for that team. But he after he had the head knock in the middle part of the season, then came back into the lineup, he'd actually been playing okay.
Yeah, that was a great game to finish off with. Unfortunately, he had those visa issues here when he first got to Brisbane, so he wasn't able to continue with that rhythm, and it's about building a new rhythm for him now with some new teammates. So yeah, there's been some glimpses of some good things happening early on, and can he keep the offense calm and facilitate?
Tied at 36 as Norton goes across the lane, and he's fouled.
Terrific move there off the catch by Norton, and he gets onto his left hand, draws the foul, go to the line to shoot 2.
I do like his look tonight with the Fab 5 there, right? What about you, Derek? I know you spent some time around that area with the Fab 5.
Of course. Of course.
What do you rate that? Is that a look you played with?
No. But I respect anybody going after their look.
That's it.
I'm all about self-expression, JP, you know that.
Indeed, Ruck. Norton at the free throw line.
And D-Mac, he said they shot 15. It's actually 18.
Venting some of his frustration. Under a minute to go. Bullets up by 2. Cameron, Humphries, Cotton, Vasiljevic, and Cheatham out there. And Bryce is called for the walk. It's been a frustrating half for Bryce Cotton. A turnover, 0 of 5, only 2 points.
And Benzie, I love that trap. It wasn't too aggressive, but it had the right amount of pressure to it, and it rattled Bryce.
Exactly. But before, he was splitting the trap, and now it's just getting the ball out of his hands. Make someone else make a play. As Maldonado comes down the other end and draws some contact. You know, that's a tough one for Adelaide because they have not been in their system defensively for most of the night. Bullets have been coming down, getting a lot of easy open looks.
So Brisbane have led at half-time only 8 times this season. They've won 5 of those games. So they're 5 and 3 when they're ahead at half-time. Of course, stands to reason that most teams will win a game when they're winning early in the contest, but they have put themselves in the position to at least be in this one. However, as we know, they led the Perth Wildcats. Wow, last time out at half-time and then absolutely fell apart.
And also, Perth didn't have the best player in the league on their team, which Adelaide have are the beneficiaries of having.
And they haven't played well in this first half, the 36ers, and they're only down by 2, 38-40 as Humphries starts to get himself going. 4.5 seconds between the shot and the game clock. As this first half winds down in Brisbane. Divas outside looking for Dukas. Takes it in at Vasiljevic. Got fouled. Another late whistle. This one goes the way of Brisbane.
Well, it looked like the defender was caught in the restricted area. And Dukas gets off the ground. Vasiljevic, actually, he was outside it, but the referee deemed him to be moving slightly to his right. And another good possession by the Bullets where they just make Adelaide work on the defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to a game of rotations, and the more rotations you make, and that's where the last 2 games, the Bullets didn't really get that ball swinging and moving around very much, which the defense was solid, they're set. It's a lot easier to play from, but as soon as there's 1, 2, 3 passes, puts everyone in a bit of rotations, and it always finds a way to open someone up.
Dukas with the pair. And a strong finish to this half for Brisbane. And they'll win it back. Maldonado, Dukas to beat the buzzer. Got it! Oh, Alex Dukas walks them off at half-time. And the Brisbane Bullets, like a shot out of a gun in this first half, trying to take down the ladder leaders. This has been a mighty impressive start from the undermanned underdogs. 45-38, the home team on top at the half.
Well, Cheatham goes for the home run pass. There was plenty of time left. I didn't quite understand why he just didn't kick it to one of the guards. Maldonado gets the steal and turns it right back around. Big time shot by Dukas to end the half.
Exactly. He started off the game. Oh, he finished the half how he started the game as well. So, you know, it's a credit to him stepping up. He's missed a couple open ones in between, but he didn't look hesitant at all.
So 45-38 here at halftime. And we get to halftime on this. The turnover from Cheatham. Hunter Maldonado with another assist. And Alex Dukas beats the buzzer and gives Brisbane a 7-point lead at the main break. We'll break it all down after this.
NBL round 15 off to an amazing start. The Brisbane Bullets, they have the lead at halftime. What do you guys have to say about that?
That was a tremendous first half by the Brisbane Bullets. They came out with a really good game plan on the defensive end. They've maintained control on the offensive end, and right now, momentum is clearly with them off the back of that big-time bomb by Dukas to end the first half.
Yeah, exactly. They executed. One of the big things they executed was getting the ball out of Bryce's hands. And, you know, he found a couple of open players, but they made it tough for him any shot he had. And, you know, he's 0 for 5. He hasn't scored. It's a tough one, though, with Bryce coming out. He's the best player in the league. So, you know, it's going to be, is it going to be Bryce's team, or can Brisbane maintain that game plan?
That's the advantage to having Sammy Mack and Mitch Norton, two people that take pride in their defense on your team. But let's talk about how good Flynn Cameron has been. He's been confident in the last couple games that I've seen him play.
He certainly has, and he's got so many weapons to his offensive game, and it's only starting to really shine through in the past few weeks as he's been required to provide more offensive punch because of the pressure Bryce Cotton receives. But look, Bainesy, he can do it all. And the thing that I like, he's got a big, strong body. He's athletic. And you know what? He's got greatness in his DNA.
Exactly. You talk about that DNA, and that DNA is in the building tonight. So he wants to put on a show for Dad as well.
You know who I'm also super impressed with? Hunter Maldonado. We didn't get a chance to talk to him at halftime. We see Flynn Cameron's stats right there. 11 points, two from deep, field goals. You talked about it, Derek. Greatness in his DNA. But Hunter Maldonado, his first team with the Brisbane Bullets, and he looks like that chemistry is already there, the way that he's been able to find his teammates.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because I was not high on Maldonado to start the season, Bainesy. Coming out of the blitz, I didn't think he had enough punch. I didn't think he was athletic enough. But that may have been a product of the system that he was playing in, where he didn't get enough usage. He wasn't able to get his confidence up, and now the bandwidth we have seen him play with in this first half has been outstanding, and we see what type of player he can be. He's been the best player for the Bullets in this first half.
Yeah, for sure. He's been the guy that's made plays happen for them. You look at his game, and the guy can just flat out play basketball. It doesn't matter that he hasn't practiced with these guys. He can step on the court, and he knows how to make them better.
Now, do you think he looks maybe a little bit nervous? I don't know. He had a few turnovers, and I was like, maybe this is just nerves.
Well, I think it's just because he hasn't played with some of the guys before. Sure, they've practiced together, but we know practice ain't games.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's his first time here, first time putting on the jersey, first time for a lot of different things. He also sat out for a few games, so he was expecting to come in, play right away. He's had to deal with that mental challenge of, I had to sit out a few games, I've had to watch them struggle. He wants to come in and really invigorate this team, and he's been able to do that.
Now, a question for you. Are you worried? Do you feel like Adelaide has given the Bullets a little bit too much confidence to be able to win this game?
Well, right now, the Brisbane Bullets feel like they are a new team today. Now they've got Maldonado. They've got a high-level point guard out there who can run the show. You see how they're looking to him on the floor to get him the basketball, and that's always a good sign. You played with one of the greatest point guards in NBA history in Tony Parker. You know better than anyone the value of having a great floor general.
Yeah, exactly. You know, not only that, but he's the same style of player as D-Mac. So D-Mac knows how to put him into the right situations as well. And that's the thing about the system that they're playing, is he looks really comfortable in it, and he's able to find the other guys and make them look better and make them take a step up.
That's an excellent point. And speaking about good basketball, Sydney King, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, two coaches that are up for Coach of the Year and two big-time players in tomorrow's matchup.
Well, I thought Sydney played a really good game in their loss to Adelaide, but they will be angry, Bainesy. And Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, well, they play angry just by default.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think that Quell going out for Sydney in the middle of that game really changed the energy within it. But they're going to have to come out and start with a lot of frantic energy and a lot of frantic pace on the defensive end, because Southeast Melbourne are going to get up those threes, as we know, and Sobey's been making it count more often than not throughout this year.
And those two guys right there are in the running for MVPs, having outstanding seasons. I'm not sure if they can beat Bryce, but nevertheless, they're in the hunt, Ariana.
They're in the hunt indeed. I'm excited to see what this second half is going to look like. We'll break it down more after this quick break.
To pull off the upset of the season, Norton from deep!
Mitch Norton is one guy I really leaned on, particularly in my years in Brisbane. What he's accomplished is amazing, but he's also very willing to share his experiences and chat. In an interesting way, everyone kind of has the same sort of journey of like ups and downs. Like everywhere everyone goes, like it's not always going to be perfect. And he kind of just helped build in that mentality of like riding the wave a little bit and kind of rolling with the punches for sure.
Whitey and I get along really well. You know, we're part of that bench mob there for a while, and yeah, it's cool to hear those kind words from someone that I respect highly as well. His work ethic, his determination, and his will to win at anything. It could be cards on the road. He's a competitive guy, and it does mean a lot hearing those words come from him.
Half time in Brisbane. Mitch Norton, always a great leader. He's leading the ship beautifully for the Brisbane Bullets today. They lead by 7. The top of the table, Adelaide 36ers on the road and down by 7 here at halftime. Joel Peterson, Aaron Baines and Derek Rucker with you. Ariana Prather is courtside with us. Great to have your company here in the Hungry Jacks NBL as we welcome in a very special guest indeed down at the Brisbane Bullets bench. A good afternoon to Casey Prather. Casey, thanks for joining us. What have you made of the start here?
Oh, absolutely, man. It's an amazing start from us right now. We got a good, pretty good league right now, so hopefully Bryce will come out and do what Bryce typically does, and we can carry it forward.
And Casey, give us a little bit of insight on what head coach Daryl McDonald had to say at the half.
I mean, first of all, he just said good job to the guys. They working their butts off right now, and it's showing out there. And he just said keep going on it, keep doubling down, make sure we stick to our scouting report, and just stay focused.
Casey, you've seen what Maldonado's been able to come out here and do. He looks pretty comfortable for not spending too much time around with the guys. What have you seen as the biggest change within the group since he's been a part of it?
Yeah, man, he's just a real pro, man. He come out here and just, as soon as he injected himself into the team and just facilitating the right way and making these guys comfortable and able to shoot the wide open shots. So he's a great addition to our team right now. We're lucky to have him.
Casey, how's your body feeling?
Yeah, man, feeling good, man. Up and downs. Right now everything is going great with my rehab. So I'm excited and I'm looking forward to the future.
Well, Casey, I wasn't sure you'd be able to come back and be the great player that you were in your first couple of stints when you started here at Brisbane, but you proved me wrong. Now you got the challenge in front of you again. Do you feel like you're strengthened having to go through that experience with your knee?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, anytime I got some adversity that I got to face, you know, I think that makes me a little bit a better person, a better player. So, again, I'm trying to prove you wrong, Derek, again. So, hopefully next year you can say the same thing.
Hopefully you'll be doing things like that very soon as Isaac Humphrey slams it down. Casey, thanks for your time. All the best.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Casey doing a great job in the media. I might have to remind him there are only so many jobs, my brother. Let's stay as a hooper for as long as you can.
That's all right. What's underestimated as well, he's got that dad strength now going through this as well. Through the entire injury, the rehab, he's out here supported by his wife and his son. And, you know, Deuce is going to give him some life out there in the rehab as well.
Yeah, we got to meet the little fella a little bit earlier, which was lovely indeed, as Ariana brought him over to us here. 45-42, Brisbane over Adelaide, 8:54 to play, so just a minute and 5 gone. Bryce Cotton hasn't had the greatest game that he would have liked in terms of scoring the ball, but 4 assists, and now Adelaide are on the comeback trail.
And sometimes I'd like to see when a team like the 36ers can still compete, can still get themselves back into the game without it having to be the star player all the time. And right now, Bryce isn't having a great game. He's 0 of 5 from the field. But Adelaide come out in this third quarter and they make a statement, getting themselves just down by 3 now. It's a game.
Yeah, that's what you need. If the team's going to get to what they want, which is ultimately the championship and hoist that trophy, you know that they need more than one player. They need multiple guys to step up at different points when there's challenges. You talked about a team's got some adversity. Who's going to step up? Who's going to show what can this team deliver? And right now, there's other guys stepping up and helping Bryce out with the load.
He's had 4 games where he scored fewer than 20 points, Bryce Cotton, and Adelaide have won, they've had 5 games and they've won 4 of them. So he has been able to find teammates and have others step up when Bryce hasn't had his usual impact on the contest. Taylor across the lane, that lefty hook again won't fall this time. 1 possession game, Adelaide can get it back to 1 point or tie it up here. Cotton drops it off to Cheatham. Cameron in the corner, he's playing with real confidence, is Flynn Cameron.
Again, out of the on ball. Cheatham does a really good job of delivering a pass to Cameron. Yes, all tied at 45. Cameron got 14.
7-0 start in this quarter for Adelaide. Cast your mind back to Thursday when Perth led by 4 and got outscored by 20 in the third term as the Perth Wildcats ran over the top of them. Here's that Flynn Cameron 3 on the Amy replay.
Nice find there by Cheatham. That's where he's so good. A lot of players at that position are unable to make that pass. Cheatham, great vision.
Great find, and you see the change-up that Mike's also made in terms of getting Troy Brown onto Maldonado. So he put a little bit more length out there to disrupt him, and he got the tap out of bounds and just making life a bit more difficult.
Speaking of making life difficult, Bryce Cotton rising up and hitting his first field goal of the game.
That's not a great sign for the Bullets. I mean, it's the first lead for Adelaide in a while, if not for the game. So, yeah, can they maintain their defensive plan that they came in with?
Jacob Holtz hitting a tough one and finding some kind of answer for the Bullets. Adelaide have led for just 45 seconds in the game so far, Bainesy.
Yeah, that Maldonado connection, though, with Holt. I love to see that as a big man. You know, you love seeing the point guard come in and develop that connection straight away.
Nice pass and good hands by Holt. And once you feel that contact, do the best you can to get that ball up on the rim. And you never know if it might drop in. Bainesy, the other thing I like about Holt is his shot. Looks really, really pure.
It does.
Yeah.
They have the confidence in him to shoot from the outside as well. You know, we saw him put up another shot in the first half, and it wasn't a look from the coach that, that shouldn't be something, because they've seen the work that he does, and his shot does look good.
Cotton saves it, but straight to Taylor. He puts it on the floor. Tried to flip it with the outside of the hand and couldn't get it to go. Tied at 48, early stages of this second half in Brisbane. Cameron got Maldonado in the air. Cheatham dumps it down low, and Humphreys hits.
He's been effective. Got 12 points now on 6 of 8 shooting.
Isaac White, the first sub off Mike Wells' bench here in this second half. Cheatham pulls down the rebound, so Zylan Cheatham has not attempted a field goal in the game so far, but he's got 6 rebounds and 6 assists.
I love to see what Cheatham has done. You know, it's kind of, there were question marks in terms of what are Adelaide going to get at the start of the season when Harold wasn't a part of the team and they had to move on and find someone else. And to me, Cheatham's that perfect role player for all these guys. His energy plays. He doesn't care about getting his name in the stat line every single time, but what he does do just creates winning for this team.
Well, you're right, Aaron. He's got 3 points. He hasn't taken a shot, but he's got 6 rebounds and 6 assists as Terry Taylor runs right through Flynn Cameron as the Sixers were due to inbound the basketball.
Do you think he's having an all-NBL caliber season, Bainesy, Zylan Cheatham?
Look, for me, it's one of those things that if Adelaide continue winning and they are clearly ahead of the rest of the team, why don't you put 3 of these players in those all-NBL teams? It's who isn't good enough to do it, because they've clearly separated themselves at this point of the season and they're deserving of having 3 right now.
So you think the third is Humphries?
That's a good question. Who are you not going to put in, right? Because we just talked about Cheatham. He makes them win. Yep. Humphries as well has had great plays throughout the year. The connection he has with Bryce is I'm a fan of it. You know, he's really making himself a threat on the offensive end.
Speaking of connection, Maldonado down low to Holt again.
There we go. That's it. That's great to see. I love that finish by Holt as well. Just go up there and you talked about put the ball in the rim. That's if someone comes over and they foul you, more of a chance to do that.
No good that time from Flynn Cameron. Cheatham tries to keep it alive. He wants them to challenge this, and the call has been overruled by Elliot Green. Ken Widgeon signalled it was going back with Brisbane. Elliot Green overruled it.
Look, that's not going to show up there for Cheatham, but he got them another possession right there.
Third leading scorer, leading rebounder, second in assists for this Adelaide team is Zylan Cheatham. Having a profound impact. He is the ultimate connective tissue in this Adelaide machine. Now he gets his opportunity to put one up and hits.
Pretty simple there. Bryce draws 2, kicks it to Cheatham, and he finally gets a field goal off and knocks down a tough little floater.
Tristan Divas rolling hard. He can't connect. Flynn Cameron goes to the floor. Maldonado dives on the loose ball and shovels it to Divas. Now to Holt. Hangs, can't hit. Bodies flying everywhere on that play. Cotton's up ahead, scooting to the hoop, and Bryce Cotton's got the and one opportunity. And Jacob Holt's still writhing in pain at the other end.
What a play phase. The Bullets do a great job of recovering a loose ball. Holt goes down, isn't able to finish. Cheatham goes straight up, good defense, and then the Bullets can't get the offensive rebound, and Cotton makes them pay on the other end.
Might have been when Tristan Divas kind of fell across him while he was landing on the ground there.
That's a tough finish by Cotton.
Had the 2 points to half-time, Bryce Cotton, 5 in this quarter. Adelaide have got 16 points to Brisbane's 5 so far in this third term.
Good to see Holt walking off though. You know, it's one of those things. He's been a big energy giver for this team so far, and you don't want to see a guy like that go down, but yeah, it's a credit to what Adelaide were able to do on the defensive end. You know, it was tough for them in the first half, but they found that energy.
11 points for Jacob Holt, 4 rebounds, 3 of those offensive. After he was the only Bullet in double figures on Thursday, he's the only Bullet in double figures again so far in this one. Dukas fouled. That'll count.
That should count. I thought he picked it up and then got into his 1-foot floater. Good call. Does a good job. Creates the contact, and that's the gather action. Bullets needed that bucket because Adelaide were on a 17-5 run.
Dukas joins Holt on 11 points for the game. Joel Peterson, Derek Rucker, Aaron Baines and Ariana Prather with you here at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. And the Adelaide 36ers getting all they can handle from the undermanned Bullets. Cotton gets another one to go. 3 more for Bryce, who is really starting to get busy.
I think you said he looked a little bit tired in the first half, Derek. I think he might have just been saving himself for the second half by the looks of those last few plays.
Sometimes you have to jolt yourself into the rhythm of the game, and
Here he comes.
Back there.
Here he comes. He's heating up. We know he can do it like few others. Bryce Cotton. And he's not just becoming a problem now, he is really a problem for this Adelaide team with back-to-back triples.
But this is the one right there, a little punch action with his footwork. Maldonado comes up under him. Cotton with back-to-back threes, and already he's up to 14, just like that. Make it one.
12 in the quarter, make it 13.
Still leading with the 4-point plays too.
15 points, 5 assists.
24 points to 8 so far in this term. And the run keyed by Bryce Cotton, the leading scorer in the league. The 5-time MVP looking to make it 6. Rakocevic denies Norton. Dukas for 3. Hand in the face, couldn't hit it. Isaac White was leaking out. Cotton thought, I've hit the last 2 threes. I might like another. He sizes up Divas. White tosses it away. Taylor ahead to Tristan Divas, who runs the floor well.
And Cotton looked to exploit Devers in the pass. And I thought right there on that pass possession, Devers did a good job on him, forcing him to give up the basketball.
Also, Mitch was right there. He had 2 eyes staring down Cotton. So, you know, Mitch knows his game and he knows he's trying to find his space. Mitch is going to crowd him.
Kenyon getting downhill. White on the drive. Tried to float it high off the window, took some contact, and Isaac White will head to the line for a couple of free throws.
Great recognition by him. Low shot clock, just get to the rim, try and see if he can force himself through a body and get a foul drawn.
You can see DJ Vasiljevic issue that exact instruction to him. Of course, a couple of weeks away from Hoops Fest, taking over Western Australia from the 15th to the 18th of January. It's the ultimate fusion of sport, culture, music and entertainment. The Fan Zone, the Hoops Fest Cup, NBL, WNBL action at RAC Arena. You can get discounted tickets online with that 20% exclusive broadcast offer, or head to hoopsfest.com.au for all the action in a couple of weeks.
Getting excited, Joel.
Rightly so, Ruck.
Get over to WA.
Allen Iverson's going to be there, of course.
AI.
What fun it's going to be in Perth again. It took over the city last year. It was a magnificent spectacle. It's only going to be bigger and better this season. Beautiful feed from Smith Milner to find Norton on the back cut.
What I like to see here from Brisbane is he talked about those moments of adversity in the game, and Brisbane found that with Bryce coming out and getting rolling, but they haven't deteriorated, they haven't given up, they've kept the pressure on him, and they're sticking with what found them success in the first half.
Vasiljevic denied by Dukas. Brown Jr. getting set to check in for Adelaide.
Nice recovery there by Dukas. Blocks that shot from behind. 4.7 on the 24-second shot clock.
11 points for Alex Dukas as he checks out of the game. Hunter Maldonado's 8 and 7 on the bench as well. Divas, Norton, Purchase, Smith, Milner and Taylor, the 5 for Brisbane. They trail by 7, having led by 7 at half-time. They've made it awfully tough for Adelaide here at home as Smith Milner with another nice feed inside. This time it's Taylor on the lob.
Good finish by Taylor. I thought he had a chance earlier in the possession to take the mismatch against Cotton.
3 bullets in double figures now with Taylor's 10. Rakocevic can't hit.
Buller's doing a good job on the defensive end, trapping Bryce, getting out of his hands and rotating. They don't care who has to match up on the backside. They're just getting someone in front of the body, and that's vision there of Rakocevic missing the shot over a smaller player. Make someone else make that play.
Of course, the former Bullets big man, NBA champion Aaron Baines alongside Derek Rucker with you this afternoon. Rakocevic takes it inside again, fouled by Divas. Adelaide by 5 with 1:40 left in this third term, looking for a 19th win of the season and an 8th on the road. Brisbane looking for just their 3rd win at home this year in their 12th appearance here at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. Led by 5 at quarter time, by 7 at half time. They now find themselves down by 5.
What a statement it would be, right? Number one team coming in. Few changes, few big pieces. Literally, and Tyrell going down and JFL going down and being able to put together a solid nearly 3 quarters now.
Still no Tane Murray for Brisbane as well, who is out with that ankle injury. So they are well and truly running out of bodies, to use a phrase from Darryl McDonald. They're doing it tough at the moment. This Adelaide team's got up and going here in this third term. Having won 11 of 12. Norton to Taylor, who finishes with the left hand once more.
When he makes good decisions, the result is usually good.
Usually a left hand shot of some type. That's what I'm finding, but no, that's one of those KYP things, right? For Adelaide, you've got to know your personnel. You've got to know which hand he wants to go to. As Flynn shows us what he can do with his left.
That is a gorgeous move from Flynn Cameron. He's got 16 coming off a career high 25 last time out. So 41 points in the weekend for the talented Tall Black. Here's one of his New Zealand teammates. International level, Tui Smith-Milner, who puts up that.
Just a smart play by him. That's what we've seen since he's come on the floor. Is he's made a couple of really sound passes, found some easy buckets for the team, and also just giving them another possession. You know, the clock was running down, and smart play to just draw a foul and reset.
Adelaide, or Brisbane side ball with 37 seconds remaining. Maldonado, Norton, Purchase, Smith-Milner, Taylor, the 5 for Brisbane. Cameron, Cotton, Brown Jr., Rakocevic and Vasiljevic for Adelaide. Maldonado cutting to the hoop and finishing strong.
And that's where it's a big point guard coming down, right, Derek? He's coming down at the rim. It's a hard one for Vasiljevic. Adelaide were in the right spots, right rotation, but he was just too big, too strong.
Again, him as the point guard. What about Tui Smith-Milner's passing here in these last couple of minutes?
Love to see it. That he's seen what they need on the bench. That's one of the advantages of being on the bench. Is when you can watch the game and see how you can come in and impact it in a positive way.
Cotton's got 13 in the quarter. He defers here and tosses it away. Smith-Milner with the steal. Taylor coming.
Wow!
Oh! Terry Taylor with the lefty lash.
There's the energy we're talking about. It's got the whole stadium up, the whole bench. That's a perfect ending for them to come into the end of the third quarter, start the fourth. They're going to be riding hard.
We've seen this before. Brisbane beating the three-quarter time buzzer and riding high into the last. They did it against Melbourne last week. They've done it here against Adelaide. They trailed by 3 to the 36ers on the road. Smith-Milner's steal and Terry Taylor with this to the break.
favor. He ran off the court after this big dunk and said, let's go, let's do this. The momentum is absolutely in the Bullets' favor. After he ended the quarter that way, I was listening in to head coach D. Mack, and he told his team, listen, it's a 3-point ball game. Let's keep the pace in our favor. I'm excited to see how they start this fourth quarter, but I do have some bad news. Sammy McDaniel will be out for the rest of the game with a calf injury. I'm told he will not be returning to the ball game. One of their best defenders, Sammy Mack, will be out. Guys.
Can't take a break, Ariana. Thank you. We have got a ball game, to borrow a phrase from Leonard Copeland, as Isaac Humphries hits to start this final term. It's a 5-point lead to Adelaide. Brisbane have controlled the scoreboard for much of that first half. Adelaide hit back big in that third quarter. Noel Peterson, Derek Rucker, and Aaron Baines with you in commentary as Maldonado takes it in. He's been outstanding on Bullets debut. Smith-Milner had a big third term with 4 assists. That time he got caught in 2 minds in the corner.
Well, Adelaide get dominated with points in the paint. The Bullets have 40 to Adelaide's 24. And Adelaide have been good with their interior defense all season as Humphries goes to work on the smaller Taylor again.
14 points on 7 of 9 shooting. Isaac Humphries hasn't gone to the stripe this evening. Cotton outside. Cheatham. Vasiljevic coming off the screen. Back to Zyland. Got bumping bodies with Maldonado. No call. And then Norton got hit by Vasiljevic at mid-court.
What they're lacking in their interior paint scoring, though, they can definitely make up for from the perimeter for Adelaide. But, you know, you've seen that third quarter was a direct impact of Sammy Mack not playing, and Bryce found his way to get going. You know, he had a lot more space, a lot more freedom without Sammy chasing him around and putting him in the clamps.
And you're right, Baines, because Brisbane are only 3 of 16 from deep. And I guess it's one of those difficult ones to kind of predict. If they can knock down some threes, they can maybe get out of here with a victory.
Did not hit a three-pointer in that third quarter. Alex Dukas is 2 of 8. The rest of the Bullets are 1 of 8.
An interesting one for me with Dukas is being in the NBA. I know he put up a lot of NBA-length threes, and the last game, he stepped into a rhythm one from NBA range, and he looked a lot more comfortable. So it's a matter of, you know, you're playing out here in Australia, you got to find that rhythm at the same distance for the three, because the closer you are, the better, right?
An extra dimension to add to the game, quite literally. Maldonado couldn't hit. Cameron's off and racing. Flynn Cameron to the cup.
Now Maldonado's got to find a way to do what he does best and play to his strengths in late shot clock situations. That 3 ball just isn't clicking, and it was a bad decision there. Put the ball on the deck, and then you get punished on the other end. Flynn Cameron one-on-one transition is a very difficult cover.
And like you said, that 3 gave them that opportunity for the fast break. You can't, if guys aren't expecting that 3 to go up, you don't know to get back on defense and build that wall and talk to each other. You're also out of position in terms of matchups.
Adelaide scored the first 10 points of the second or the third quarter to take the lead. They've got the first 4 here of the last as well. Maldonado put it on a platter for Norton. Dukas for 3. They needed it.
There you go. There you go, Baines.
The bang goes on a Sunday in Brisbane for Alex Dukas, just like he drew it up.
I do see him favouring that long range, though, right? He didn't want to take that extra step to get inside because he's more comfortable from long range. Even on a Sunday afternoon with the bang.
Cotton at the other end. He cashes that one.
That guy's comfortable anywhere from beyond 3. So, again, tough one. You got to close out and take his space away.
18 now for Bryce. He had 2 at halftime. 7-point Adelaide lead. Maldonado trying to make moves again. Tried to scoop this one home, and that is a very tidy finish off the window.
Humphries may have gotten away with some body contact as well.
Adelaide's biggest lead in the game was 9 at 64-55 in that third term. Brisbane led by as many as 8 in the early stages.
Pass off on the baseline. Blue, 18.
Look at the Amy replay. Alex Dukas must have heard you. Not quite at NBA range. He was long with it, but it was straight. And then Cotton In reply, Terry Taylor's got to step up right there. I know that's not part of the defensive blueprint from Daryl McDonald.
9 of 19 from outside the 36ers. Very proficient from that part of the floor as Humphries tips that one home off the Cameron miss. Adelaide out by 7 again with 7 to play. Maldonado driving to the hoop. He has been worth the wait for the Bullets this afternoon. 12 points, 7 assists, and a chance here to go to the line and shoot a couple.
Glenn Cameron and Isaac Humphries really have done a good job in this game. When Bryce Cotton was struggling, Bainesy, they were the ones that kept the scoreboard ticking over. And now that Bryce is heated up, they've got a real nice lead.
100 years of thrills, laughs, and joy. The Harlem Globetrotters coming to your city as part of their Australia and New Zealand tour. Don't miss your chance to be part of the legacy. Buy tickets now by scanning that QR code on screen. June and July 2026. Maldonado splits them. 6-point game.
What did you grow up there doing? Were you more of the Harlem Globetrotter tricks? Because I know from my generation, it was definitely the And One mixtape.
Yeah, I love the Harlem Globetrotters, but I was also in on the And One. Professor.
Sending the eras you are.
Yeah, Rock. I try to be timeless, JP. Not sure how it's working.
It's getting there. It's getting there. Adelaide by 6. Cotton saw some contact off the ball. Tristan Davis, of course, you go back all the way to round 2 and he got shaken out of his boots a couple of times by Bryce Cotton, and that's the 4th foul on the Brisbane youngster. Only player with more than 3 in the game. Rakocevic has got 3. No one else in any particular foul trouble. Cheatham taking it strong to the cup. Taylor's called for the foul. That's the 4th on Brisbane in this quarter.
Well, I think they actually called it on Holt.
Right you are.
And Cheatham's so tough there. When he has Cotton coming off, he can fake that handoff and go. And you saw him just put his left side into Holt and draw some contact.
So 6.5 minutes remaining. Every foul from Brisbane from here sends Adelaide to the line.
Yeah, it's not exactly the game plan they wanted. You know, it's giving Bryce too many options. He's great at getting in there, creating contact. Also, the tough one for them now is he knows if he comes off and pulls up straight away, the defender runs into him, he's getting shots no matter what.
Benji, one of the things where Mike Wells hasn't been given enough credit is not only the adjustments he's made throughout the season, but in game. He's been really good with, whether it's on the defensive end or the offensive end, figuring out a way to get his team into a position to win on a regular basis, and they've capitalized a lot, obviously, being on top of the ladder.
Exactly, just like this. He's got Troy Brown again on Maldonado, just giving him some length, and Maldonado comes off into Humphries. There's a lot of length out there to challenge with.
Maldonado can't hit, foul on the loose ball. Go on Cheatham.
Wide 45.
Second foul on Zylan Cheatham, who's got 7 points, has only attempted 1 field goal. He's got 7, 7, and 7 in the game.
That works.
Cotton with the block on Divas.
And that defensive end messaging was heard loud and clear by them, and they've stepped up for this 4th quarter.
Isaac Humphries now rolling to the hoop. Tried to go at Taylor. Cheatham put it on the floor, got locked up with Holt, lost the handle. Dukas, Maldonado, Divas, Holt, Taylor out there for Brisbane. Terry Taylor's got a head of steam, spinning his way into the lane. Dukas for 3. Got it again!
What I'm talking about, he loves those long-range threes. That's his comfort zone. He looks good. The team knows they have all the confidence in him from out there, and it's great to see those ones go down.
Another big hit from Alex Dukas makes it a 5-point game. Adelaide 79, Brisbane 74. 5:43 remaining in this final term. Alex Dukas, he's 4 of 10 from outside. He's hit 4 of their 5 three-pointers this afternoon. He's got a team-high 17 points when they needed him to step up. He certainly has.
And the Bullets, irrespective of the result of this game, when that final buzzer goes, they should take a lot of confidence, because I think they've played a nice brand of basketball today. Only 8 turnovers. They've punched the ball into the paint. Look, there are obviously areas to improve, but if they continue in this vein and continue working with this type of intelligence, they give themselves a chance.
I'd agree. You know, on the defensive end for me, especially what I've been excited about is seeing the different coverages they've shown to the ball screen, because this game is a ball screen league at the end of every set.
Adelaide by 5, 5:43 to go in Brisbane. The Bullets taking on the league's top team this afternoon. There is Bryce Cotton, who is atop the Mitsubishi Motors three-point leaders. There's a lot of Adelaide Navy in that list. DJ Vasiljevic third, Clint Cameron is fifth. Nathan Sobey and Bryce Hamilton both having terrific seasons as well. Alex Dukas will be there one day, no doubt. He's 4 of 10 from outside for a team-high 17 points. The 36ers called for the timeout. Ariana Prather, what was Mike Wells' message?
He was telling his team to make sure they go over every single ball screen defensively, because Brisbane has had a few open threes. They got a little bit of momentum, but he told his team, hey guys, stop and score, stop and score. We are right there. And that three from Cotton just helped a lot too.
Yeah, there's part of the equation, Ariana. Thank you. Bryce Cotton with another 3 ball, so he had 2 at halftime. He now has a game-high 21 points. He's 5 of 6 from outside.
Well, the Bullets gambled and put Devers on him in that possession, and Cotton made him pay.
Dukas again. That one was strong. Devers, terrific offensive rebound. Dukas is 1 away from an equal career high here in the NBL with 18 points. He's got 17 thus far. Maldonado spinning and offloading to Taylor.
Another great find by them. You know, Dukas started it. He missed his shot. They got the offensive board to him from Devers. He dribbled, penetrated, got a whole lot of head steam. Adelaide was in rotations, and they just kept pushing it into the paint.
Over halfway gone here in Brisbane in this final term. Adelaide by 6. 18 wins on the season. Brisbane, a loss today would be their 18th loss. Maldonado, Holt, Taylor, Dukas, Devers, the 5 in blue. Taylor across the lane, fouled by Cheatham.
Taylor's been good this afternoon. He's got 16 points, 6 rebounds, and more importantly than the numbers is his approach. And I thought last game he was somewhat passive, but he's certainly come out with a different display of conviction here this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, that's the benefit of having guys go down, is they know they need scoring to come from somewhere. So it gives you that a little bit more confidence, that bit more, yeah, just ability to be selfish and take the ball to the rim a bit more than you normally would, especially when you got Tyrell down there commanding such a presence.
Aaron Baines and Derek Rucker with you, providing their analysis. A couple of former Brisbane Bullets. Taylor misses both. Go begging, they were important ones for the Bullets. The lead stays at 6 for Adelaide, and they get the rock back. Cotton, chased by Norton, and Cheatham from the weak side, soars to the cup again.
Again, all from Bryce, right? He knows he draws so much attention, and he just left that one on a platter for him.
Troy Brown Jr. with the loose ball. Maldonado locks him up at mid-court.
Troy Brown hasn't delivered much on the offensive end for them, but what he's doing on the defensive end is translating, and that nearly translated into a couple easy points for them as well.
Here's the special athleticism from Zylan Cheatham.
Great pass by Cotton, just flips it up there, knowing that the human pogo stick can go up and get it anywhere. Zylan Cheatham, 9 points, 8 boards, 8 assists.
Hello, Ruck.
He's flirting.
He is flirting indeed. He's 2 of 2 from the field, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Imagine having a triple-double with 2 field goal attempts.
He's so Draymond-like.
That's it. He impacts winning. Who is their third All-Star? Who's going to be the third guy on that All-NBA team?
He's a big
All-NBL team.
Adelaide machine, that's for sure. 8-point Adelaide lead. Maldonado almost wedged it between the backboard and the rim.
Blue 15. Push. 2 shots, 2 shots.
So the foul is against Holt on the rebound. Zylan Cheatham thought it was against him. It's Jacob Holt's 4th personal. And the 36ers will be marched to the other end to shoot a couple. Now this is a game situation that gets quite difficult to manage for Brisbane.
Yeah, a few guys in foul trouble, and again, like you touched on, Adelaide were in the bonus early, so it's a long walk down just for a couple easy buckets.
So Cheatham's going to take care of the points. He's got 10, 8 and 8. Bryce Cotton, DJ Vasiljevic talking with Mike Wells. 10-point lead to Adelaide. Context of the game, it is a significant one. The first time that either of these teams has led by double figures. Norton to Holt with the hammer.
He's got a good future ahead of him, Jacob Holt. I just really like the way he plays basketball. Keeps it simple. He's got a good understanding of spacing and creating passing windows for his teammates. Cotton getting to work.
13 points for Holt, coming off 15 last time out. Cheatham to Vasiljevic. We know he's good for a big shot. He hits another one in a big spot, does DJ. 11-point lead to Adelaide's a new game high with 3 to play.
He's found his role within this Sixers team. It's not about volume, Basie, for him. It's about significant shot making, and another big one this weekend for DJ Vasiljevic.
That's exactly it. And like we saw him pre-game, and he said, I've got plenty more of those anytime they want to give me the rock. So he's ready to knock them down at any point.
Holt with the hammer. Bryce Cotton orchestrating the offense. It leads to the three-pointer from DJ Vasiljevic that falls.
And more importantly, another assist for Zylan Cheatham.
11, 8 and 9. He is closing in. Tangerine timeout with 2:52 to go. 89 to 78. The Adelaide 36ers on top. Bryce Cotton with 21 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. And what about these averages for the man looking for a 6th MVP?
I mean, one of the hardest things for him to do, considering the amount of defensive pressure he faces game after game, is the 3.4 three-pointers made per game. And the percentage, 39%. And something else we never thought we'd see from Bryce Cotton in the NBL, 8 assists per game, leading the league.
Yeah, for sure, but that's what also gives him that space to hit 3.4 threes, because he's finding other shooters. He's finding the right play. He's finding Humphries, Cheatham, Vasiljevic. It makes the defenders have to close that space down a little bit more, and gives him the same ability to take that space and create those opportunities for himself.
He's averaging 2.5 minutes of time on the bench a game this season, is Bryce Cotton. And he is putting together another masterpiece today as Holt goes in again. This has been a powerful performance. Another one from the big fella with another 15 to his name.
Aaron, his bounce is so deceiving.
It is. That's the thing, right? He often falls back to finishing with some touch. I want to see him use that aggressiveness we know he's got and go and tear that rim down every single time as Bryce strolls in for another quick 2 just to add to his tally.
Bullets have dominated points in the paint today, that interior presence, but Adelaide 11 of 22 from outside. Taylor looking to peg back 3. That one's off the top of the backboard. Holt with the important offensive rebound. Out to you-know-who. Dukas misses that time. Taylor fading away and hitting. The Bullets aren't fading away.
No, it's those hustle plays, those extra 1%ers that are keeping them in here, keeping it tight, and can they do it on the defensive end to make it tough on Bryce?
Terry Taylor with a third 18-point game of the season, equaling his season best in his time here in Brisbane. Bryce Cotton sizing things up. No look past to Cheatham, who works himself into the lane. Rakocevic down low now. Right-hand hook, no good. Gets it back, pops it up, won't fall. Cheatham with another rebound. Foul on the play. Zylan Cheatham with 11, 10 assists. And is he credited with the rebound for that?
Well, he should have been. So he should be up to 9 rebounds. Although I don't think this statisticians are going to give him that one.
No sense of theatre, Ruck.
Stingy.
How many triple-doubles this so far?
Only
2
the
so
one.
far? Just the
one. Dave O'Hickey. Taron Armstrong, of course, before him. Dave O did it against Cairns earlier in the season. Oh boy.
The crowd's getting back into it for these cheeseburgers now.
Yes, didn't see that coming from Cheatham, that is for sure.
They've had cheeseburger flirtation all day.
Indeed they have, and Zylan's given them a look. Only the one triple-double so far this season. Cheatham for the second. He hits it in a big spot, makes it a 10-point game.
And a few frowns to go with it.
You're not going to get a win as a home fan. You at least want a free little drive-through on the way home. 10-point lead to Adelaide, a minute and a half to play. It's been a spirited performance from the Bullets. That won't get them a W, though. They need some execution down the stretch here. Humphries tips it off the rim and chases down the rebound. Humphries, Cotton, Brown Jr., Vasiljevic and Cheatham, the 5 for Adelaide. Terry Taylor's called for the foul, his 4th personal. And Adelaide will go to the line to shoot free throws number 33 and 34 of the game.
And Baines, you look at this Adelaide performance. True, it wasn't the prettiest victory, but on the road to getting an NBL title, you must be able to win these types of games. On the road, you know, you might have to go through a Tasmania. You might have to go out to RAC Arena, fall behind early, and find a way to dig yourself out of a hole.
Exactly. They had a list of excuses ready for them to come up, right? They played a really tough game against Sydney. They had to travel up to Brisbane. They had a short rest in between. But if you're going to win a championship, you don't care about those excuses. You would care about the product you put out on the floor.
Maldonado with a tough finish. He wasn't going to be denied there.
He's been very good, Joel.
He keeps the Bullets alive, Ruck.
15 points and 9 assists. And I think physically, he actually looks like he's moving with more quickness than we previously saw him do with Southeast Melbourne. And more responsibility here in Brisbane. And I'm sure some Bullets fans are thinking, if we had had him from the start.
Yeah, that was a, you know, it was a question mark in terms of what Jalen is going to be able to come in here and provide. And the fit within the system wasn't it, but Maldonado with the changes that they've had here in Brisbane and D-Mac, it's looking like a really good match so far.
Blue 4. Hit. 2 shots.
5 guys, 2 shots. Go.
Foul on Dukas.
I don't want to give him another one.
He's got 17 in the game. Maldonado's got 16 and 9 assists. Jacob Holt's got an equal career best 15 and 6 rebounds, 4 of those offensive. Terry Taylor's got an equal season best 18. The other end, the 36ers. Humphries has got 16 and 3. Bryce Cotton's got 23, 4 and 7. And Zylan Cheatham has 14, 8 rebounds and 10 assists.
And he's turned this 4th quarter into his own personal free throw practice.
Well, he's getting better at it, so the practice is working, Ruck. He made 2 of 2 that time.
11 of 14 in the game.
10-point margin. Dukas for 3. That one's offline.
No. Gotta hold
Go
the
back
spot.
with Adelaide.
Can't cross the line. It's attack the first time.
He knew he was shooting that one well before he caught it. Vasiljevic was right there in his space. He's one of those that maybe pass it up and run off another screen or 2, right, Derek? You'll get a better shot.
Yeah, or even one hard push dribble and maybe a change of direction as Bryce throws a wild one across the floor.
Almost threw it away. Brown rescued it. Here's Cheatham again going to the cup. Zylan's got 17.
1 shot.
Technical foul.
Delay of game.
They had a delay of game warning earlier in, maybe even in this quarter. So it is going to be a technical free throw to be shot by the Bullets. Zylan Cheatham with 17 points, a career-high 10 assists.
Cheatham for headbutting the ball. Delay a game, it's there after their warning.
Just gotta leave it alone. I think he grabbed it. Yeah.
So there's the explanation.
Baines, you ever headbutt a basketball? I'm sure you have.
Not on purpose on the court, but definitely in practice, 1 or 2 here and there. But yeah, I didn't give up a technical for it, thankfully.
Yeah, technical. Thank you. Replay sound.
Been a busy afternoon for Zylan Cheatham. His 4th foul, plus 18 in the game in his 30 minutes. Timeout for Darryl McDonald and the Brisbane Bullets. Down by 11 with 31 seconds to play. That's an entirely different game situation.
Well, I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who wish the Sixers were up by 31, but the Bullets have done a very good job here today, and You know, there's no medals for coming close or moral victories, but this does provide some hope to this fan base for the rest of the season.
Yeah, exactly. You'd rather them come out and put together a performance like this than just throw in the towel from the get-go. You know, Tyrell was the centerpiece that they were going to focus on for the rest of the season, and he's out this afternoon, so they've got to come in and try and rewire it a little bit, and no better opportunity than when you get a brand new point guard to come in here and see who can play.
Coming off the disappointing loss earlier in the round for the Bullets as well when they fell apart in that second half. They haven't done the same here, of course. The 36ers with a big win over the Kings. Melbourne's loss last night, consequential. The Wildcats too good for the Breakers earlier today. And tomorrow night, that is an almighty matchup between the Kings on the quick backup and the Phoenix, who roll into town having not played since Wednesday night.
And Vainsy, I know you're a basketball tragic like me. I love this time of year when you know every day there's a game to watch.
Yeah, it's exciting, right? You know that there's going to be some competitiveness out there, and every single game has implications right now at this point of the season. And who's going to be in that play-in and who's going to keep themselves out of a play-in spot to stay fresh and have that opportunity to make a long, deep run.
Maldonado's three no good. Holt with another offensive board. 7th rebound of the game for Jacob.
They call the travel there on Holt.
No. So Adelaide by 11. Looking for a 19th win at 12 in their past 13. To stay clear atop the table. They were challenged by this Brisbane team. They will ultimately prevail. Zylan Cheatham will fall short of a triple-double. He whips it to DJ Vasiljevic, who can't hit as time expires. And the Brisbane Bullets give Adelaide all they can handle, but the 36ers pull through in the second half and outlast these plucky Brisbane Bullets. 97-86, the final score. It's a 19th win of the season for Adelaide, the first time they have won that many games in a season in 20 years.
Bryce Cotton goes off in the second half, puts 21 points on the board, and that third quarter explosion lifted the Sixers, and from there the Bullets weren't able to keep up. Outstanding win by the Sixers.
Yeah, Mike came in. He wanted them to stay with their habits, and that's what they did. They knew they could come in. It was a danger game for them, just with teams changing and new players coming in. It's that added burst of excitement for the Bullets, but Adelaide have proven why they're at the top of the ladder, and they just created that bit more separation, which will serve them well with how junked up things are in that mid-pack.
And if you're Brisbane, I mean, you do get some bright signs, including from this man, Jacob Holt, obviously for Maldonado. Dukas had a great game. Terry Taylor, clearly worth persisting with 18, 7 and 3. So there is a little bit to take out of this for the Bullets.
Yeah, there's definitely some bright spots, like you mentioned. And first and foremost for me, it was just how comfortable Maldonado looked early on with them, and then even grew into more comfort with the rest of the guys.
It was a big positive. Let's get to Ariana, who's with Bryce Cotton.
That's right, I'm here with the Foot Locker player of the game, Bryce Cotton. No surprise here. This was not an easy one to get done on the road. How proud are you of how your team was able to turn it around and win by double figures?
Very proud. You know, the way we started the game, we came out lethargic and Brisbane was punishing us. And that three that they hit to end the half, I just said to myself, this game's going to go one way or the other, but we buckled down.
You guys definitely buckled down. How special is this team? Zylan almost had a triple-double. The youngster Flint Cameron just plays with more and more confidence every time he steps out on the court. How special is this group of guys?
It's very special. You know, the thing I like about this team is it could be somebody's night every game. You don't know who it's going to be. And the most important thing is nobody cares who gets the credit. We're just going out here trying to win. And it's been a blast, you know, for a lot of us first-timers that's on the team this year. So we just want to keep building.
It's always fun to watch you play, Bryce. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Joel, back to you.
Thank you, Ariana. He had a big second half. He leads the Adelaide 36ers to an 11-point win. We'll break it all down on the other side of this.
Look, you guys just seem a lot more aggressive than And you had a bit of a fall down there, and you're okay? All right, good man. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please put your hands together for Holt and all of the Brisbane Bullets for giving 100% effort tonight. We want to say thank you as well to all of you for coming out tonight and giving 100% effort. We will see you at our next game on the 26th of January. We'll see you then.
Well, as usual, when Zylan Cheatham's involved in a ball game, there's plenty of highlights. Today, no exception, as he catches the lob from Bryce Cotton and the thunderous flush from the Adelaide big man. He had a big game today as well, almost a triple-double. Adelaide's big second half gets them an 11-point win. Derek Rucker, Aaron Baines. It was a slow start, but a fast finish.
It certainly was, and in the second half, Adelaide really kicked it into gear on both ends of the floor, and it's promising for them because it was a game in which I didn't feel like they had good energy nor rhythm coming out to start the game, but they wind up, Aaron, shooting 49% from the field and 48% from the three.
That's it. Bryce said it after the game. It was going to go one of two ways, and it went the way of the perennial MVP and Bryce Cotton. So always good, but another celebration here with Joel.
Happy birthday.
So happy birthday. They're not lit, but
thank you, gentlemen.
Appreciate having you around here and spending some time with us on a special day.
Very kind. Another year older, and not necessarily another year wiser for yours truly. So much appreciated, you two. What a performance it was from the Adelaide 36ers in that second half. So they win by 11. Their 19th win of the season, of course. The Mitsubishi Motors ladder. So 19-4 Adelaide, Brisbane 6-18. But as we've spoken about, a bit to like out of that performance for the Brisbane Bullets.
There was, and I think now with Hunter Maldonado there to run the show, now he gives them direction, organization, and a guy that is a genuine elite playmaker.
Yeah, exactly. It's great to have him come in and, you know, find a rhythm with those guys straight away. It's only going to grow with the insight that D-Mac's going to give him, and, you know, hopefully we see Smack back healthy and they get a few more things going on. But yeah, it's a good start for his time here in Brisbane.
Yeah, absolutely. The Adelaide 36ers with another victory on the road. They go to 19-4 on this NBL season. The Brisbane Bullets gave them all they could handle. Ultimately, it was the Sixers too good. More NBL coming tomorrow night. Sydney and Southeast Melbourne. Look forward to your company then.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.